company. You're going to have a beautiful environment. The London Fire Brigade is definitely not one of those. It's very toxic. It's got leaders in positions that they shouldn't be there. They absolutely have an emotional bank account of minus 100, if that's even a scale to compare it to. They've never been through any adversity. They lived still stuck in the 60s as such. But they've been promoted because they're absolutely crap at their job. And because they're working for the government, they just get promoted because it's cheaper to promote them than to get rid of them. And that's in a lot of government structures like that. But when we get stuck in that as females, and we just continuously absorb that kind of negative, I don't want to call it energy because that's going to make me sound like I'm...
Microaggressions, I think, are fairly...
Yeah, and when you get stuck in that environment and you don't fit in that anymore, just get out of it.
Right.
And I just feel like the more we try and fight it, is the more energy we give it. And I'm totally against that. So
okay, well, what I certainly took from what you just said, and I could be wrong, so correct me if I am, was that there wasn't anyone that you could look at that had. You've now fulfilled this role as a firefighter and as a business owner. There was no one for you to look at who was doing that. And it sounds like, well, I know the other ladies in the room, the London Fire Brigade, and there was a story about female surgeons in the UK. There's a story about police WhatsApp groups. Basically, the culture of misogyny is alive and well, and really having a quite destructive impact on many women, because the barrier to their next position is then so often, far too often, down to sexual favors, that perpetration of power. So on that downer, thank you.
If you ever go into that kind of environment that you feel like you have to give someone sexual pleasures to get anywhere in life, get out. Come on. How strong or how weak can you be?
Well, this was the thing. So the story about female surgeons showed that 75% of female surgeons, so 6 years of degree, 6 years of doctor extra, and another 3 years to become a surgeon. So we're highly qualified. 75% of them were getting told if they didn't have sex with the consultant, their career would stall. So
your education has got nothing to do. You can have 20 years of education and academic degrees. It's got nothing to do with your emotional intelligence.
No.
Like, you can be the lawyer, you can be the doctor, you can be the barrister. It doesn't matter. Your emotional intelligence has got nothing to do with that. And that's why it makes me quite, I don't want to use the word angry, but if you find yourself as a female, good looking or not, it doesn't matter, educated or not, skinny or fat, it doesn't matter. If you find yourself in that position and you can't stand up for yourself, you need to work on yourself. If you attract those type of males in your life, you need to get out. And if that happens and you can't say strongly no, or strongly like, this is it, I don't want to even face you anymore, or just go and work somewhere else because you're just a surgeon. You know how many millions of hospitals there are? Just move.
I'm going
to disagree that it's easy for people to just move when they're in those high positions. And why should they have to move? I mean, I'm going to be really... Think about it. Why should someone have to move because someone is toxic? Why are we promoting rubbish going up? Because that's not okay. I mean, a lot of people are promoted upwards so that it's literally that they move up and they can do less damage further up, and they don't get the company.
I know, but you can't fight those systems.
You can't fight a system. So yes, I agree 100% that the person needs to deal with their emotional self. Absolutely. And they need to find a way. But if you've worked really hard, and if you look at how many doctors, even male doctors here, cannot get promoted, they cannot move, they have to move to another country, I don't think that it's relevant to say that someone has to get out when they put so much investment in their studies.
Is that from what hospital are you talking about? Is that a study from a hospital or from the UK? that what you're talking about?
It was from the UK.
Yeah. The problem with the medical system is it's legacy, and they don't take people off boards in the medical system. And so I think what we're saying here is, why should the woman who is so accomplished in her business have to move when what needs to happen is that person or those doctors should be removed from this? Why are we fixing women? We should fix the system.
Well,
that's
what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say, Shelley, because one of the comments.
That is the biggest problem is we keep fixing women and not fixing the system. The system is
that's
broken,
that's one of the problems I got from the end of what Dunja said. She said that basically we can't fix the system. You can. There's roles out there. There's a national election about to come up, guys.
Eliminate the assholes.
You know.
I mean, you just have to eliminate. I mean, why should, for someone that has studied for so long, have to, deal with sexual harassment, not feeling safe in an environment?
Yeah.
It isn't about her skills. It is about assholes abusing you and not feeling safe and secure in an environment. In any environment, no one should not feel safe and secure. Period.
So,
Paulette, there's two things there.
Oh,
No,
sorry,
that's okay.
Vicky.
It's okay.
We'll go Paulette and then we'll go Vicky.
I mean, I agree with what Don just saying to some extent. I think she mentioned about emotional intelligence, but we also got to think about social intelligence, and that is the ability to understand your own and others' actions. Yeah. So, we have to think about in terms of how that individual feels. So I'm coming as a Black woman, and I'm not going to stay in a situation and where I'm feeling uncomfortable, okay, because of my skin color or because of the fact that I'm being assessed by my hair or whatever. And this is something that people, especially women of color, are experiencing on a daily basis. So when you mentioned about, that we have to be in our particular roles and we have to not particularly accept it, but it seems that you're going to get a lot of people going to be very upset because people are going through a difficult time. And it's not like, I don't think it's like a feminist approach where we're saying that we want to bring men down. What we're saying is recognize us and give us a voice so that we can have a say in what's happening, so we can dismantle the system and rebuild back collectively. And as Vicky said, is that coming together. We're not saying we're going to just do this in silo. It's coming together. Men have dominated this space for a very, very, very long time, and we've just sat down. And what we're saying is we're not doing that no more. We're not saying we're going to get rid of men. We're saying that you're going to hear us.
Vicky. Cool.
So because there's two Vickies, I put Vic, but we at least we have a distinction.
Vic.
So Shelley, I love what you were sharing earlier about how someone could be so highly accomplished. I don't think anyone of any intelligence, of any kind of emphasis in career, should be subject to mandating or degrading their body or for anything in order to be able to pursue their career.
Yeah.
So it's regardless of education, regardless of standing. And there's the second thing, we have for so long increased the age of working. So you have these old farts who are very set in their ways, who won't retire or die, either or. And let's be honest about it.
Yeah.
And these then kind of dictate who gets promoted. So then if you are like them, you get promoted. So they actually enforce behaviors.
Yes.
So I think when you've got young companies that have a strong HR team and it's the, put your pronouns on, explain the pronouns, and like the gender equality rainbow, and the fact that Adam is leaving the office on a Friday and in 3 weeks' time he's going to come back as Madeline. And the pronouns will have to be she, her, because that's how they wish to be known, and that to be accepted without kind of shh, do you know, kind of conversations around the water cooler. That has to happen with first getting rid of all of the old farts and then mandating change, and that can only happen with central change in leadership, and that's not just governmental. That's flat across